everybody, welcome back to Road Rations. I am Lauren, and with me is Bean. He's like, I don't want to be in the show, at least not right now. Anyway, in today's video, we will be talking about and reviewing my tiny travel kitchen. I've had a lot of people gain interest in how I cook while we travel, while we're on the road, whether if it's just a typical weekend out of town. Hello, buddy. If it's just a typical weekend out of town, if we are on the road for band stuff, if we're touring. For those of you who do not know, if this is your first time watching me, my husband, make up your mind. My husband is in a band, so we do a lot of traveling with that, which is fun. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start pulling stuff out of the bag. We'll talk about it and just kind of give you the lowdown on what I bring with me. However, I do have a much larger travel kitchen that will also take, depending on the situation. I do have a video on that, and I'll link that to this as well. So to start off with the bag, it is a pet carrier, and it's clean. I made sure to clean it, so if you guys want to take inspiration on making your own travel kitchen, I will say when you start looking for a container to carry your stuff with, use what you have. At the time that I was making this travel kitchen, I just had an extra pet carrier. So, use a rolling suitcase, use your Pokemon backpack from like preschool, whatever works for you, whatever you have on hand, just use what you got. It's no big deal. And again, it's clean. So, I wonder if I have anything in this pocket. Let's see. I have really crappy vanilla trash bags. I got these from the Dollar Tree. These are the 4-gallon trash baggies. These really suck. They are better than nothing, and I would honestly prefer to get a better type of a trash bag, but we already bought these, and we'll just find use for them. So, but I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up, and I'm just gonna start pulling out whatever, and we're gonna talk about it. It'll be a good time. So, starting us off, I have my French press coffee maker, and I keep it wrapped up in a clean hand towel for extra padding and just try to prevent any breakage. But I have my French press. I got this thrifting, but I think this was like the Paris Hilton line. But anyway, so I am not going to sacrifice a good cup of coffee whenever we travel. Y'all, there have been times, oh Lord, where we would go to a hotel, Airbnb, whatever lodging establishments, either they would have no coffee maker, the coffee maker was broken, the coffee that they had sucked, or whatever. So I just find it easier and a lot better to just, bring my own French press. I know some people will bring like the single Keurig or a similar style to that, but just a good cup of coffee while you're traveling just makes everything better. So I have my cute little French press, and it's pink. I have with me 2 soup mugs. They're just the little plastic soup mugs that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And this one, because, space is limited, you want to try to fit things where you can. I have a baggie full of spices. I have these little jars that have like garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, paprika, Creole, because I don't want foreign food on the road. I also have some bouillon cubes. I have beef and chicken, and they're both wrapped up in their own little individual baggies, so they stay together. And then I have some little like salt and pepper packets that I keep in here. Now in my travel pantry, I do have like a bigger bag of different spices, but in this one I still like to keep little bags of spices. I have 2 coffee mugs. These are the Tall. These are the brand that you find at Walmart. I also got these thrifting at, I don't know, a couple different thrift stores. But anyway, these work amazing. I love them. They hold heat very well. They don't have lids on them, but I don't really care. We're just sitting and drinking coffee. But these work amazing. Love these. So to go along with my French press, I have my cute little collapsible kettle. Like, you guys, this is amazing. I love it. It has a, hold on, before I get too excited. Inside, I have the little cord to turn it on. But, like, it's so fun to play with, and it's just so easy just to smush down. I do have a video on this product on my channel as well. I'll just link it, you know, to this whenever I'm done. But it's really simple to use. It has just a off and on switch. It will also automatically shut off once it reaches like the highest heat point. So it will shut off, automatic safety shut off, which is great. Still, even whenever it shuts off, it's still a good practice to unplug your appliance. So, but yeah, I got my cute little squishy kettle. I have a bag full of bags. So this one obviously is a gallon bag that's holding the other bags, but I have like 4 or 5 gallon size baggies, 4 or 5 quart size baggies, and about 4 or 5 snack size baggies. These are great if you have leftovers, if you need to marinate something, you need to store something away. Like, it's just nice to have some Ziploc baggies with you. I keep with me some larger cooking utensils. I have a wooden, I wouldn't call this like a spatula. I'm not really quite sure what the proper name for this one is, but I just have a large wooden tool. I have a, hello buddy. I have a meat masher. I have a few silicone tools. So I have a silicone serving spoon. I also use it as a ladle. I have a silicone slotted spoon. A silicone slotted spatula. And then I have a thin pancake spatula, and it was actually labeled as a pancake spatula, but this is awesome. It's nice and thin. This is great for pancakes, and it lives up to its name. It's amazing. So whenever I was making this like little mini travel kitchen, I wanted to try to find things that were multi-purpose, I can use for different things. So I have a, what was this called at Dollar Tree? It's like a dressing shaker bottle, but it is a cup. It holds 2 cups, and I don't know if you can see very well, but it has measurements on the cup, and it has a little dispenser spout. But I use this more for like as a measuring cup, and you can also use this as a regular cup if need be. I have 2, they're nesting, but I have 2 plastic bowls. I use these more as mixing bowls than regular bowls. You know, use this as a mixing bowl for my pancakes. I've used this for salad mix, just things like that. I have an extension cord. It's just a 2-prong extension cord. Nothing fancy. I have a thin plastic cutting board. I keep a thin cheese grater in my bag. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It came in a pack of like 4 or 5, and there were different styles of like graters and like in the little pack. But I keep this one obviously in my small kitchen, and then I have another one of these in my larger travel kitchen. And I think the grate style's about maybe slightly bigger than this one, but if need be, we are able to shred some cheese, shred some vegetables, whatever, but this is very handy to have. I have what I pretty much call my utensil drawer, but this is a, what is it, like a stationery case I got at Dollar Tree, and it just holds a lot of my smaller odds and ends that I use to cook with. So if you open it, I have just a little cheapy sponge. I have a small bottle of dish soap. It's just a tiny little palm olive original scent. If you guys can't find a small bottle of dish soap, I've also used a little travel bottle for like the shampoos and conditioner, stuff like that, and I just fill that up with soap. I have a ice cream scoop. I keep a bottle opener, and it has the little corkscrew, and I don't know what this part of this other fancy bottle opener attachment, I have no idea what that's for. If anybody knows what this is for, let me know, because I do not know what that is. Anyway, so I think that this is pretty cool. It is a 4-in-1 measuring spoon set. It swivels out like that, and it has a teaspoon, it has a tablespoon, a teaspoon, half teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon. And it's like all connected, and it's really cool. I like it. I have actually found 2 of these at one of my local thrift stores. So I keep one in this kitchen and one in my other travel kitchen. And it's really cool. I think it's pretty nifty. I have a good can opener. If I can encourage anybody who wants to make their own travel kitchen, make sure you have a good can opener. In my larger travel kitchen video, I went on and on about having a good can opener, because the one I had for that one at the time sucked, and it didn't have any of the bottle opener like attachments. Don't know if you guys can see that very well. All right, but make sure you have a good can opener. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be like a good $3 can opener or a $5 one, whatever. Just make sure you have a good can opener. I'm not aggressive, but I'm very passionate about good can openers. I have some silicone tongs, a little silicone spatula. I have a little silicone whisk. I have a, oh God, what is this called? A basting brush, little food brush. I have a little sharp knife with me, and it has a cover. I got all of my smaller silicone tools from Dollar Tree. I got this knife from Dollar Tree. My larger silicone ones I got at Walmart whenever they had the cooking with color era that they had, and got me some nice little silicone things. I have a silicone scraper. I got some scissors. Also keep some scissors with you. These are great. I have a bag of silverware. I got these at Dollar General because Dollar General still has stuff for $1. And I mean, it's just, you know, some butter knives, some forks, and some spoons. I don't get why we're selling these in sets of 3 instead of sets of 4, because at some point, like forever ago, they were selling silverware in sets of 4. Now they're in sets of 3, which I don't get, but whatever. I have 2 really thin plastic plates. I got these from Dollar General. They had like sets of 4 and it was like buy one, get one free. So I got a blue set and an orange creamsicle looking set. And I mean, they do the job. They're cheap, they're thin, they're not bulky. So I have a collapsible colander or strainer. I also got this at the Dollar Tree, but it's really easy to pop open, to pop, pop close when you're done with it. So I am saving the best for last. If I could encourage anybody, inspire anybody, whenever they want to make their own travel kitchen, besides having a good can opener, y'all, I love this thing. I have my mini 8x8 electric skillet. Y'all, I love this thing. You can do so much with an electric skillet. Really, anything that you can do on a small skillet on your stove, you can do with this. I'm not associated with Elite Gourmet or really any of these, companies that I'm like showing the hello. I'm not associated with anybody, but if there is a good product out there, I want to share and just, it's awesome. But hello, girl. I also have the heating wand for it. Yes, ma'am. And I also keep the lid wrapped up in a hand towel as well to, again, prevent anything breaking. It just gives extra padding. So, okay. So now we're going to get into the pros and cons of our little setup. I have my notes so I can stay on track. So one of the pros with my little kitchen setup is it's very compact, it's lightweight, it's travel friendly, it's really easy just to kind of like take and like tote along with you, just kind of chuck it in the car. Well, we're not really chucking it like it's a football, but it's lightweight to gently pack into the car with our travel pantry and our cooler. Another pro is that overall, this really does save us a lot of money. However, there have been times where we may not be able to leave the grounds whenever we want to go get food or like to go back to the hotel to eat whatever I prepped. Some places won't allow outside food in, so we will have to grab something inside. And it is what it is. Definitely touring and playing at shows has really opened my eyes that you can plan as much as you want and hope for, all these things to go well and go the way you think it'll go. And sometimes you just gotta yell plot twist and just move on. Another thing with our setup is that this is very customizable. If you are inspired to make your own travel kitchen, if there is something that I have in mind that you would not want to put in yours, that's awesome. You can customize this to all your culinary needs. If you're someone who likes to have a little slow cooker, awesome. If you don't want the electric skillet, you can get a cute little slow cooker and, it's great. If you don't want a French press because you hate coffee, I will pray for you. But if you don't want a French press, that's fine. You don't have to have a French press, but like that sucker's staying with me. So I think my favorite pro out of all of them is that this teaches me to be creative. Like, y'all, it has been so fun to figure out what all can I make with this? Like, what all different types of foods can I make? I've learned to find different tools that I can use for multiple different things. So, like this dressing dispenser container. It's a measuring cup. It's also a regular cup if I need another cup. With my skillet, it does more than just skillet. I've learned that I can bake in it. I have made cinnamon rolls. I've made biscuits. I have made cake. I've made cookies in it. I can do a lot with this. So that really saves up some space. And again, that helped me be creative of what all can I make, because, you know, the only thing that's really limiting me is, you know, it is kind of slightly small, but I can still do quite a lot with it. So she is also great for short trips. So like, you know, your 2 to 3 days, equivalent of a small weekend. Anything longer than, you know, 3 days, I would just bring Big Sister, because Big Sister Kitchen has, you know, the appliances that I would use more if we went out, like out of town for longer periods of time. Like Big Sister has a slow cooker, and I could fit my air fryer in that. So as far as small 2 to 3 day trips, that's great. So this is the last pro, and then we're going to kind of segue into the cons. But this kit is small but mighty. So this could feed about 2 to 3 people. In our band, we have discussed already that everyone just kind of fends for themselves. Everybody just take care of themselves. But me and my husband can eat very good meals with everything here. You know, we're satisfied. Just because things are on the smaller side don't mean I can't do a lot with it. So getting into the cons now, which we're going to piggyback off of the last pro. Yes, small but mighty, but also small but takes up more time depending on what, you know, we're cooking. So for example, we like to do grilled cheese a lot on the road. It's just a really easy, you know, quick meal, grilled ham and cheese, turkey cheese, whatever, a grilled sandwich. But because I only have an 8x8 in this kit, I can only do one grilled sandwich at a time. For me to do one grilled cheese takes 6 minutes, and that's like round trip, like front to back, you know, for a sandwich. If my husband wants 2 or 3 grilled cheese sandwiches, okay, he's gonna be here for what, like 12 to 18 minutes just making grilled cheese sandwiches, which if you've been traveling a lot, if you were on the road for a long time, or we come back from somewhere, you know, I personally don't want to be standing at this for like 20, 30 minutes making grilled cheese sandwiches. Another example is, because I love coffee, me and my husband drink coffee all the time. If I wanted another cup of coffee after we made, you know, we both had coffee together and I want more, this kettle can only hold so much water. Then we have to like clean this out, you know, just make more coffee. Whereas in Big Sister, I have a larger French press. I have a larger kettle to where, you know, we can enjoy 2 cups of coffee a piece in that kitchen. Whereas this one is like, okay, we can both enjoy a cup of coffee together. And so it's just one of those things. But yeah, so with everything with this, we may just have to cook in smaller or multiple batches. And again, depending on what we planning to cook, it, you know, it is what it is, but it still kind of sucks sometimes. The last con, which I mean, we only have 2, which isn't bad for a little travel kitchen kit, but packing everything up back into the bag sucks. Because, and I'm saying this from POV, like we just got back from a music festival. We've just been at a festival like for 14 to 16 hours, haven't made it back to wherever we're staying. Just making sure everything's cleaned and just trying to fit everything back in, especially after a really long day, just sucks. I've learned to just take a picture of everything in the bag once it's fitted in properly, because it's pretty much like you're playing Tetris. You have to turn your French press over like this to make sure your spatula can fit. But once everything is in the bag, it's great. It's just putting everything back in the bag. That kind of stinks. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for coming back and hanging out with me on my kitchen floor as I got to share and review with you guys my travel kitchen, or my little baby one. I think you guys are awesome. If you want to support the channel, my Buy Me a Coffee and Venmo information will be in the description. If you want to support the FyreBrand community, all of his information will be in the description as well. If you guys have any ideas on travel cooking, let me know. I think that this is great. I think it's awesome that people are expressing more interest in this, especially if you are someone who is also a musician, or you're a traveling nurse, or you just travel for work, whatever. But I would love to hear your guys' suggestions, ideas. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, until then, I will see you guys in the next video, and you guys are awesome. Bye.